Microtransactions in gaming, a new Batman movie, our newest trailer reactions, and more coming up. Hey everyone, On the Couch presents Geeks of the Roundtable podcast. Welcome to episode 2. I am Jeremy, and with me today is Nye.
So what are we going to talk about this week? What do you got going on? What's new?
Well, I've been reading more and more about this Star Wars 2, the Star Wars Battlefront 2 fiasco with the microtransactions. So I just wanted to hit a couple points on some microtransactions.
Being a PlayStation hardcore PlayStation 4 guy that I am, I only played Battlefront. Yes, Battlefront 1, I believe it is.
Yeah, we all bought it when it went on sale.
Yeah, when it was on sale, $14. I honestly, I buy a lot of them at their $80 high-end AAA price. This one I didn't. I couldn't get sold. I can't remember what I was playing at the time, probably Destiny. And I didn't buy it for that. I bought it for $14. Best purchase I ever made. Great game. Drop in, play it. I played it for a couple months. Well worth the $14.
Yeah,
Glad I didn't pay $80.
The $14 for sure. I think I agree. I would have been rather disappointed with the lack of real options in the game for an $80 price tag. You'd expect more.
Yeah. Would it have like 3 or 4 different levels, maybe the most? And you have to fly around in the ship a little bit and stuff like that. 2 looked like they had a couple extra characters, couple extra scenes, but it didn't really get me sold. It didn't get me to buy it, that's for sure.
But that's where the real fiasco came in. Like, to play with Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader was going to take like a calculated 60 hours to obtain, or you can just go and buy it from the store.
I see.
So right
Cheaters.
away, like it's pay to win.
Yeah, it is pay to win, but I'm not going to pay $80 and then pay $80.
and that's when everybody banded together on Reddit.
Yeah.
And pretty much put an end to microtransactions
I've
in
never
that
been
game.
on Reddit. Ever. A guy at work accused me of being on Reddit all the time. I've never been on Reddit ever. I know of it, but I've never been on it.
The only time I go on it's when something like this comes up that makes
it's so
news
hot,
to
you
go
got to
and-
read it?
Yeah, you got to go check it out.
I see.
Because I was deciding whether to buy this game or not. And then when I see this, it's just no. But they were offering, there is story mode. You get it's like a 6-hour campaign, which for that kind of game isn't too bad. You get all your multiplayer modes.
Well, the multiplayer was fun as shit.
Yeah, and apparently the flying is very improved. But again, you can
still
get
good
all
before.
the star cards as pay to win.
I see.
But yeah, so and the real thing with that is it allows people to get so far ahead that people that don't have the money can't keep up. They ended up trimming down the grind time and they took the microtransaction out, but they didn't remove any gear or heroes or anything that was purchased. So it was still kind of a lopsided game at that point because they just stopped the cheat.
Yeah,
but left the cheat in place.
Myself, unlike you, I jumped into the Destiny 2 pile, and where you're getting, drops like crazy. Everybody can level up super crazy. I love the content and I love the game, but it's just it's too easy now, and a lot of people have dropped out of it. Again, the big amperage and then the lack of content following up behind it, and literally you can buy everything you need right away, and it's a little too easy to get everything. They took the grind and just eliminated it altogether, and now it's free loot for everybody. And that's why everybody jumped off of it. Everybody, it was busy the first couple months, and then, poof, everybody's gone.
The first review I watched about it, they pretty much opened the disc. Did you have the disc version?
No, I downloaded.
Okay, so in the disc, when you open it, the pamphlet on the inside goes, buy the season's pass.
I see.
Before you even get that game in the console, it's asking you for more money. And that's at like $35.
Yeah, it is.
So now you're over $100, and it's for nothing really. Like especially with seasons passes.
Yeah, I stopped playing. I still have it loaded, but I haven't been into it. there hasn't really been too many titles that have got me that super excited lately for an order. Like I'm PS Plus, and I have been since day one. And I was actually looking at that. We've had it since 2011.
Yep.
Is when I got my PlayStation 4.
Yep.
Oh, not 2011. 2013 is when we got
Whenever
it.
they came out, I don't
Yes,
remember.
It was 2013. I was just talking about it with Marlene this morning. So 5 years now, or we're working on our 5th year now. And, I've been a PlayStation Plus from the beginning, so they've actually had some good titles. Actually, I think PlayStation Plus this month, giving back Knack as their free game, terrible.
Yes.
Terrible. Like, where was that? I downloaded a couple other things, but, that was the first game I bought on this 5 years ago.
That's right.
That's
It was a
terrible.
launch game.
Yes, and
Like,
I bought
we
it, and
played
I
it
paid
at
the $80
launch.
at launch because it was pretty much the only game available at the time.
Yep.
And but it was good. But giving it to me 5 years later, come on. Not even Knack 2 or whatever they had.
No, just that original,
Yeah,
not
terrible.
the greatest
poor play.
game, you know.
Poor play. But last month's was pretty good with the Deus Ex Mankind Revolution or whatever it was called. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed it.
Human Revolution, I think.
Human Revolution, something like that. Excuse me. But yeah, they haven't really got me to spend any money on some new things. Although I am anticipating this Monster Hunter world. It looks pretty good. I'm curious. We haven't looked at any of the multiplayer gameplay yet, but the trailer is interesting. I'm curious. We watched that 15 minutes of gameplay today. It looked pretty good. Lots of skill, lots of crafting, stuff like that.
Yeah,
lots
I
of
heard skill
combinations.
was a big one for that game.
Yeah, but it looks like it might be all right. I'm interested, anyways.
Me as well. I think it has a certain element where the fights actually mean something, judging by the gameplay, because it was kind of a drawn-out fight at first. Now, I don't know how powerful they get. We'll have to wait and get some time in, but it seemed like it was a challenging game, not for the casual player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, definitely more involved with your role RPG, role playing, and you were talking about possibly MMO.
Yeah.
Again, we didn't look at any of the multiplayer stuff yet, but they did hint at it a little bit in the trailer, but that's all. You know what I mean? They didn't, and we even during the 15 minutes of gameplay we saw there, we didn't see a single other character in that. That was all single person, and that looked great. But in this day and age, I want the interaction out there in the community and stuff like that.
Yeah, sometimes it is good. It's a good concept, but every now and then I like it when a Fallout comes out and we're able to just sit on the couch and not interact and sometimes just immerse yourself in an offline world. It's sometimes, a nice change up.
Yeah, but I can't wait for I'm a huge Fallout fan. I can't wait for the multiplayer Fallout eventually when it comes. So whenever it does, I don't know.
Bethesda did that. It was Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
It wasn't very good.
No, but that's Elder Scrolls as well. That's not in like they should have a drop in, drop out cooperative mission, but still keep the original Fallout idea and everything else like that. Like everybody likes the post-apocalyptic world and everything else like that after the explosions, the zombies, the somewhat natural guns. It's a little bit harder to get into that type of stuff with the fantasy, I find, for myself anyways, where the Fallout is a little more real to me. So I would like to have the co-op in and out, but also be able to play just all by myself, because you're right, it is fun to go off on your little quests. The last Fallout there,
Yep.
I was determined to post pictures on my community PlayStation site. Excuse me. To be the first one exploring around and finding all the cool shit you possibly could find, right? That's me, off the map, out off the grid, out in the world.
Well, I remember watching you play a little bit. You like to climb every mountain you could. I'm partial to the fast travel myself.
Yeah.
I like to get there. You got to explore to get to there anyway.
Yep. Billy Goat.
So,
Billy Goat. Explore everywhere, walk everywhere, run everywhere you can. That's the idea behind Fallout. It's fun to fast travel and stuff like that, but I find it more fun with all those little houses on your map that make it incredibly hard to read. But we did get around the chance to play is that That's You game that we downloaded. Well, I downloaded it off of the PlayStation Network, I don't know, forever ago. And actually, I downloaded it because I was hosting Christmas at my house. My family was coming over. That's what I was going to use it for. Get them interacting like that. I didn't realize that everybody had to have their phone or an iPad, which I was using, which is what you were using, an iPad as well. Marlene was on her phone when she was playing it. Again, I just wanted to try it out, see what it was like, and get the trophies. I'm kind of a trophy whore like that. I love them, stat it up.
The game was fun to play, and I mean, once we got all three of us into it, the trophies did come as well.
It allowed you to use your iPad or phone. She was on an Android, we were on the iPads, to use it as a controller to interact, take photos, draw on photos, stuff like that. It just had different dynamic. I really thought it was a great concept. I'm surprised there isn't more type games like that nowadays. With the connectivity and usability with all the different.
Well, it was definitely very interactive. Like you're constantly looking between, and it's neat how you do your own thing on your screen, which is very separate from the other two players, and then you all put it on the TV through the PlayStation.
Yep.
And the categories are fun, and they get repetitive, right? The game's 4 rounds.
Yeah.
So if you do 2 rounds, like 2 goes at the 4 rounds, you're getting the same style of questions every round type thing.
Yes, you do get the. I didn't have a repeat of any questions, or really of category. Excuse me. The same type of games, like there was drawing games. You drew on the photo, you posed for the photo, and you gave an opinion as to who you think something would be. Or what they wouldn't do, or what you think they would do, or something like that. And you voted. So it was 3 people, so you voted, and that's the way it was. Obviously, there was 4 rounds, and we had 3 people. If you could have up to 6 people playing it, and, 3 couples, boom, done. Great little icebreaker starter. There you go into the evening, couple drinks, away you go.
And it also had the Joker coin, which was like a double down on the bet.
Yes.
So if you won,
well, yeah, that was part of the game dynamic. The idea was to get points, the most amount of points, teaming up or adding up with different people gave you more points, and that's how you won the game.
So you can imagine we did 3. So when we all voted the same, we only got 300 points.
That's right.
I wonder if the point structure is based on the amount of players. So if all 6 players get it right, then it's 600 points.
Yes.
And if they double down...
I believe it is, because when we were playing earlier, I think it was 200 points, and then when you doubled down, it was 400.
Okay. Yeah, because...
Or...
It was.
Yes,
because when there was 2 of us.
Yes, and when all 3... I see what you're saying.
Right, and if it's just you... Well, you can't. It's a stalemate with 3 people.
Yes, and you can't play just by yourself. Well, I don't know about online. We didn't try any online stuff like that, but you can't play it... on your console with 1 person. You have to play with at least 2 people. It says that when you start it up.
Right. So the double down, when you do it, then with there's 6 people, that's 1,200 points.
Yes.
That's actually a significant jump in it.
Oh,
like when we doubled down,
6. Yeah, for sure.
Like when we doubled down, it was a max of 600 points.
Yes, that's correct.
Which we found even was like, oh my God, you doubled down correctly on those a couple times.
Yeah, and that's why they limit the double downs, because you can't double down on everyone, and if you lose, well, you lose your double down. So you could get a pretty quick and efficient jump over somebody else between 1 to 3, or even just 1 and 2. You could always stay that 500 points ahead type of idea.
Yeah.
Which is how I crushed you.
And then we tied.
I don't know.
I know we tied once.
I don't remember tying.
No, you wouldn't.
That's right.
There's a new DC animated movie. It's called Batman, Gotham by Gaslight.
I watched that. I just seen it the other night. It was all right. It wasn't, by far, it was not my favorite Batman movie by any means. But when it first started up, I was like, oh, I kind of like this. And I'm going to have to say, I definitely still like a 2D animation over a 3D generated any day. I was thinking that when it started up, and I was like, it looks a little bit Japanime type accents or anime accents on it, but I didn't really like... I liked a little bit of the steampunk effects that Batman had and stuff like that, with his grappling hook, with his motorcycle, stuff like that. I thought that was pretty cool. I wished I would have seen a little bit more, you know what I mean? Maybe some cool goggles or something like that. I just didn't see it. But honestly, I thought, James Gordon as the villain.
Yeah, I was a little torn on that one as well.
Like, I got it, and then I started thinking about the last movie that we saw, right? What was the last one they came out with animated Batman? It was with taunting James Gordon, right? It was The Killing Joke is the last one that came out?
I believe so.
Where they're taunting James Gordon. And now this one they come out with, and he's the villain. You know what I mean? So I see, and I thought about that. I was like, oh, is that what they planned on doing? Is that what they're going with, the idea? But I didn't really like this too much. Of him definitely being a surgical killer like that, being the
yeah, that
Jack
didn't
the
seem to
Ripper.
fit.
No,
It was a little of a stretch there
Yes.
for me
No,
as well.
when I saw the Doctor, actually, I thought it was going to be him. You know what I mean? What was his name?
Hugo Strange.
Hugo Strange. I thought they were going to use him as to be the Jack the Ripper, but obviously with the fighting, the fighting ability, as soon as you saw him to go hand to hand, and be like, wow, that's incredibly good fighting skill to be outmaneuvering him. And then I thought, Deathstroke. Who else could possibly fight Batman hand to hand like that? You know what I mean? I was like, okay. They could use Deathstroke, totally come out of the wing with it, use him as a cheap character, and away we go. Here's your villain, like that would have been fine. James Gordon, tough sell.
You didn't see it coming.
No, that's true.
Like, I'll give it that. It was a surprise.
Yeah, but didn't
Not
like
really a welcome one.
No. Yeah, and the Killing Joke was kind of a slower story as well and stuff like that, and definitely way more psychological than we're used to, the Batman series, but. So I started watching a series talking about different things. Star Trek Discovery. Started watching that a little bit. I'm 4 episodes into it. It's interesting to see where it comes into play. Definitely a lot of subtitles in this one. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of Klingon. I really like to see that come out. The start of the war, everything else like that. So this is right before Kirk, I guess. The next, 100 years or whatever, Kirk will be coming out or something.
Well, the timeline they set was around 100 years after where the episodes of Enterprise
I have no idea. I didn't watch that.
So
I haven't really watched anything
after that
in a while. I'm not like a huge hardcore Trekkie like that.
Mm.
I watched Next Generation like every young adolescent did, which was amazing. I watched a little bit of the old original Star Trek. I watched all the movies.
Oh, yeah, for sure, all the movies.
But I didn't watch. I watched all of Deep Space Nine. I watched a little bit of Voyager, about maybe half of that. But then after that, I pretty much tailed off.
See, I liked Voyager. I
watched.
I think pretty much every episode of Voyager I've seen.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Not for you, eh?
No, maybe 2/3, I would say. 2/3.
Where do you think Discovery kind of fits in with all that?
Well, Discovery it happens right before Kirk. Because in Kirk and stuff like that, they always refer to the Klingon War and stuff like that, the war with the Klingons, and that's where this is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I meant. But where do you feel this one ranks amongst the other shows in terms of, like, your overall?
I don't know. It's different now. You know what I mean? Like I said, Next Generation was the shit. But if you look back at it, you start watching it now. Like, do you like it because you liked it then, or is it actually good? I don't know. The quality is still pretty good, although it is shot for when it was in the 90s. But
Well, yeah, but
it still looks pretty good, though.
There's still good, solid stories too. For the most part.
I haven't really got attached. I haven't got that many episodes into Discovery yet to say whether I'm a huge fan of it. You know what I mean? But I'm open. I'm pushing through.
For me, it ranks like, Next Generation, Voyager, and then out of all of them, I think I would probably put the original and then the Discovery.
Yeah, okay, I'll go with that ranking. That's fine.
In terms of just what it really feels like, you know. They were so groundbreaking at their time that now it's different. They changed it too, like the different uniforms. It's a whole different structure like that.
Yeah. No, they changed it with the movies too. You know what I mean? And that's the interesting aspects of it.
So do you think that it's in that timeline, like in the movie universe, really?
No, I think it's in the TV universes.
So it's the same continuum as like the Next Generation and Voyager.
Yes.
But what, like, that's the thing. So what about the spore drive then that powers the ship? If Voyager had that, they could have just, boop, now we're home. Problem solved.
So obviously, then like you're talking about the spore drive, but that's probably after my episodes or something. I don't know exactly.
Well, okay. So
I don't know how many episodes I'm in.
I think
where
by
they start
4 they
talking about
probably
that.
would have mentioned it at some level.
Okay, I'm terrible then because I don't remember.
Basically, it allows them to like leapfrog through space. So it's like instant travel, and it uses a special fuel. And one of the crewmates is the navigator.
Yes.
And he just jumps around, right?
Yes.
That's how they ended up in the alternate universe.
Okay.
And then, the captain ended up being from that alternate universe. So, and then they are now back. But the war with the Klingons is now over. Like, it was like 9 months difference in time. When they came back,
I have no idea what you're talking about. I think you're way ahead of me.
That's the last episode that's aired. The season finale is
Oh, okay. You've lost me there. Then.
coming up.
It's coming.
It's not a bad show.
Well, I'm giving it the shot. We'll give it the season, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a few new trailers that came out.
This week, quite a few, yes.
Yeah. Which one do you want to get into first?
Well, since the Super Bowl pushed out Solo, let's talk about Solo.
Okay, yeah. The Super Bowl put out the TV spot, and then the trailer come out right after.
That's correct.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. Graphically, the ship looks amazing. The worlds look amazing. How clean the Millennium Falcon is.
Yes,
amazing.
I noticed that.
The white, beautiful.
It looked new.
Yes, definitely.
For the first time ever.
Tough call on the Solo character himself. I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see whether I like this guy. I have no idea who he is or what he's been in. But I'm terrible like that. But
I agree. We'll give him a shot. See
He
how it goes.
definitely doesn't look like Harrison Ford. Not that he has to look like Harrison Ford. But you take an iconic character. It's hard to give up the mantle. When it's only been one person in it. It's not like it's Batman and Batman can be anyone and all that jazz. It's true to my heart, Mr. Han.
Well, it's just because we grew up with that.
That's true.
He's one of them. You know.
Yeah, iconic characters. But I think it looks good. We'll see what happens. I'm anticipating something away from the Skywalker family to be as good as the last one was. Rogue One, amazing movie.
Yes, it was.
Way better than the last two Star Wars ones. With the Skywalker family, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But so hopefully this one is as well and keeps up the same market.
It is. It went through some director issue, but I'm not really too concerned. The trailer come out and it got me excited. It did what it was supposed to do. I want to see that movie now.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. It's definitely getting my money just with the trailer.
Yeah.
Whoever cut it, good work.
Huh.
Good work for sure. You're getting my money just for the trailer alone. And then I hope it lives up to the trailer. But also, we got the Deadpool meet Cable teaser, Deadpool 2 thing come out.
Yeah.
What do you
get to see Josh Brolin as Cable?
Tough call. I like him as a guy, good actor, liked him in several roles. As Cable, I don't know. There were so many other opportunities or other people that were talking about being in this role. Fandom wanted him to be in this role.
Well, first off, he's already got a character in the Marvel Universe.
As Thanos,
yes. He's Thanos.
These
Thanos
guys could possibly
Cable.
be in the same movie, but now they literally can't be in the same movie.
That's right.
Because they can't.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm torn on it. He doesn't really look like Cable.
No. Not as much as some of the other people, like Stephen Lang.
Yeah. Like, that's a jacked up old dude.
It is a jacked up old dude.
Would look far more the part anyway. He would look the part better.
Yeah. I always was one for Kevin Nash. Until our recent conversation that we had earlier about him having knee issues or something like that.
Yeah, he's got bad knees.
Because I was talking to
he's 7
somebody
feet
at
tall.
work, and I didn't know he was 7 feet tall, 360 pounds.
Yeah, like he's a big guy.
And he was the guy in Punisher, right? Type of idea with
he had that role.
John Travolta.
But that was a long time ago, too.
That was a long time, but I didn't even realize that was the same guy. You know what I mean? I'm not a big wrestling fan like that. But I showed the guy at work a picture of him like that, and he looks like Cable. That is Cable. Old man Cable, right?
The Russian version of him looked like Cable, that's for sure.
Well,
that could have worked
sure,
as Cable.
Sure. But
Like,
with the
with
white
that
hair, the
yeah.
white beard, beautiful. You know what I mean? That is him. And huge. Like, he would have looked so amazing standing up beside fucking Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, the size and everything else like that. That's one of my huge things. To me, Cable's a huge guy. Josh Brolin, sure, fit as fuck, but not huge. You know what I mean? And I would have liked to see Cable as a bigger character. The same as I would have liked to see Apocalypse as a bigger character. But what are you going to do?
Well, yeah, that's a whole nother way that they just kind of goofed it.
Yes.
The X-Men goofed it again.
Agreed.
The Apocalypse had so much potential, and just I don't feel like it delivered on what Apocalypse could have been, and then they killed him.
Yeah.
So,
and then Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer as well, which I didn't see until you just showed me a couple minutes ago. Great little trailer. Like the Ant-Man, what a good movie. Didn't really
surprise
get that
movie.
much hype in the theater and stuff like that, and I ended up watching it afterwards, and well worth the money to rent it for sure.
Oh, absolutely. It's something that went under the radar.
On demand for sure.
It surprised me with how good it was.
Yep. So I'm definitely gonna probably on demand as well. This the new one as well, maybe possibly theater, but Marlene's not really a huge fan. But definitely gonna get some type of money for me because I'm interested to see it. It was definitely entertaining, the first one. So
I think it's a theater watch for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Marvel movies have just been doing so well that you still come out of them all feeling entertained. To me, that's worth the price of admission. And if it just fits the continuing storyline of the whole universe, like, is it going to be before or after Avengers? We know it's after Civil War, but we don't know about after the upcoming Avengers or if it's before then.
Oh, I think it's before that. I think it's happening like now. It's just a different part of the city, different part of the country. It's happening now, and they're just not involved with whatever Tony Stark happens to be doing at the moment. Personally,
Tony Stark. He's not surviving Avengers.
Well, who knows? We'll see.
I think this is when he's just going to bow out as Iron Man. Isn't that one girl from Black Panther supposed to be very good with electronics, and doesn't she become like the next Iron Man?
I don't know. That's getting too much further into the comic books that I'm not too familiar with. So you may know more than I do at this point.
Just going on hearsay, really.
Oh, yeah? On Reddit?
Yeah, I've never really...
Back to Reddit again?
No, not back to Reddit. That's the thing. I've never really looked into it.
I see.
Megan mentioned it to me. I'm assuming she saw it
was,
somewhere. She
she
probably
was on
wasn't-
Reddit.
Yeah, she wasn't digging for it, that's for sure.
I see. No, and yeah, apparently, because Wakanda is all up on the whatever, I forget the name of the material that they have there, but their technology super really advanced and stuff like that. So it totally...
Is it vibranium?
Yes, the vibranium.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
vibranium.
so definitely that they could, she could be the next technologically advanced Iron Man, if you will. Sure. I'm not saying that at all. I just have no idea.
No, of course we have no idea. But it's an interesting thought.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. But yeah, definitely. Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm looking forward to that.
Another one coming out is the Venom.
Venom, yes. Venom, interested to see. It was leading a lot of things. I don't know if it's going to, again, I don't read that much. I just watched the video and come out. I don't know if it's Eddie Brock. I don't know if they're shying away from that character. I don't know if they're using that character. It kind of looked like there was psychic powers.
Yeah, I noticed that too. But I don't know Venom to have any of that. So
No,
I don't know
I've
why
never
they
known
would
him
just
to watch
magically
that.
give it to him.
Yeah, I've never known him to know that as well. The spider webs from his symbiote, the symbiote being a shield for him and stuff like that, sure. Altering his body, sure, but not having psychic powers. And it looked like he didn't even have Venom at that point, but then it might have been in him and not showing, right?
Right. I heard rumors that they were going to be doing like the Soldier Venom story arc.
Okay.
Again, I'm not too sure, but I had heard rumors of that.
Cool. Interesting. No, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Venom was a huge character. I was a huge Spider-Man fan and stuff like that, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Are they going to be connecting this at all with the new Spider-Man character that they're doing?
That's unknown at this point. Carnage is said to be in this one.
I see.
So, I mean, they are including more Spider-Man characters.
Carnage is going to be in this one?
In Venom. Carnage is going to be in Venom.
See. Interesting.
So, I mean, with the two of them together, it's very possible that they end up in with Spider-Man.
I see. So, like, Carnage is supposed to be like, the son of Venom type of idea. So, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
And that's about all the time we have today. Thanks for listening in. This has been Geeks of the Roundtable podcast. For Nye, I am Jeremy, and we are on the couch.